Okay, good afternoon. This is Goldfish Purpose my YouTube channel. So under today's presentation, we'll be looking at quadratic equations. Okay, so now these quadratic equations, they come in both papers, which is paper 1 and also paper 2. So now in today's presentation, we'll be looking at only the questions that normally come under paper 2. Okay, so under paper 2 quadratic equation, we solve it using the formula method. Okay, so now this formula is always given, so your duty, you just have to know it. Okay, your duty, you just have to know it, that this is the correct formula to use and when to use it and how to use it, more especially how you can use the formula. Okay, so now we are having this thing which is solve the following quadratic equations, giving your answer to correct 2 decimal places. We are having this one, and also this one. So now the format of a quadratic equation, before you start solving any math problem, you have to know the format, the way it's supposed to be. So now the format of a quadratic equation looks like this: ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So always whenever you are solving a quadratic equation, you have to make sure that it must be equivalent to 0. Okay, so if it's not equivalent to 0, you have to make sure that you make it so that it should be equivalent to 0, like the way this thing is. Okay, so now this one and 1, the first one, I mean the second Roman numeral and also the third Roman numeral, they are not equivalent to 0. So we have to try by all means to equate them to what? To 0. Okay, so quadratic equation, there's a formula that we use, okay, which is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So now this formula is always given in an exam, so no need for you to try and memorize this formula in your head. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Okay, so it's very much important, like before you start solving an equation, you first try and group your data, more especially under quadratic equation. You group your data first. Okay, so here I'll just try and say data, my data. So my data, prayer from the formula, you try and check the letters that you are having there. Okay, so I'm having A, I'm having B, I'm also having C. Okay, so now there, which one is my A and also which one is going to be my C? Okay, which one is my A, which one is my B, which one is my C? So we are starting with this question. So a number that is having a squared, that's your A. Okay, like this one, the way it is here. Okay, so this one is having x squared, even this one is having x squared. So my A here, what's the coefficient here? It's 2. So my A is going to be a 2. B, this one here. Okay, this one here. So what's my B here? Negative 13. Okay, negative 13. C, which one is my C here? This one. Okay, which is the constant one, which is 14. Okay, so now this is my data. So with this data, I can try and plug in now from there. Okay, as simple as that. So this question carries a 5 mark in an exam. You can't afford like to miss it. Okay, so I'll say x is equal to negative plus so minus b squared minus 4ac. Yes, like that over 2a. Then since I'm finding the value of x, I'm going to say x is equal to negative b here. So here it's negative 13. Okay, so this is the data that I'll be using, but here I'm having negative b, so a negative times a negative is going to give me a positive. So here I'm going to say 13 plus or minus b. Which one is my b? My b is this one, which is negative 13. There is no negative v, but there's a negative v. Positive times a negative, it's a negative. Okay, so I'm going to say negative 13 squared. There's a square g. Okay, so this is where the square is coming from. Okay, 4 a, which one is my a? Which is a 2 here. My a is 2. C, which one is my c? It's 14 here over 2a. My a is 2. X is equal to 13 plus or minus. So now here negative 13 squared, according to the laws of indices, this one states that negative 13 squared is just the same as negative 13 times negative 13. Since the squared is outside of the bracket, but if we are having something like negative 13 like this one simply means that the negative will only come once. So it's going to, but the 13 is going to come twice. So it's going to be negative 13 times 13 like this. Okay. So according to the laws of indices, this is the meaning, this is the meaning here. It's this. Okay. And according to the laws of indices, the meaning of this simply means this. Okay. Okay. We continue now. Okay. So it's very much important. Like you also know the laws of the indices under mathematics. Okay. So 13 squared, what is 13 squared? So 13 squared, according to the calculator, 13 times 13, it's going to give me 169. Okay, 169. So here my answer is going to be 169 minus 4 times 2, I'm going to have 8. 8 times 14, 14 times 8, I'm going to come up with 112. Okay, 112. So another thing that can tell that so 2 times 2, it's going to, I'm going to have the 4. Another thing that you can try and tell that what you are doing is correct. It's C. Have you seen this number? This number must be bigger than the number which is Z. Okay, this number here must be bigger than the number which is Z. Provided that you are having the opposite, the number here is smaller than the number here, just know that what you're doing is wrong. Okay, just know that what you are doing is wrong. Okay. Then we continue. X is equal to 13 plus or minus. So 169 minus 112. I'm going to come up with 57. Okay, I'm going to come up with a 57. Okay, so 57 over 4. Okay, so at this level you now need to come up with the square root of the number 57. So this is where now a calculator is very much important. So this is where you now come up with the square root of 57. Okay. So this is all these are past papers. This one was coming from 2021 internal. Okay. So I'm going to continue from here. Let me just try and draw a line here. Okay, I'm going to continue from here. So now I'm going to say x is equal to this 13. I'm going to bring it in. 13 plus or minus. Okay, 13 plus or minus. So now, what is the square root of this 57? Okay, what is the square root of this 57? So quadratic equation, you need to come up with two possible answers. One in negative and also one in positive. Okay, so 13 plus, what's the square root of 57? So punch again on the calculator. So the square root of 57 is giving me 7.5499. Sorry, just 19. 7.5498983435 over what? Over 4, which is A. Over 4. So this one is, remember what I said there, under quadratic equation you need to come up with two possible answers, one in negative and also one in positive. So now a positive, we also need to come up with the one in negative. So I'm going to say 13 minus this number again, the square root of 57. So which is 7.549883435 over 4 again. Okay. Then now from there you compute now. Okay. From there you compute. Okay. So I'm going to start with this one. Okay. I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to say x is equal to. So we computed this and then we divide it by this. So now I'm going to say 13 plus 7.5498344 35. I'm coming up with 20.549834444 divided by this 4, divided by 4. I'm going to come up with 5.13774. Or I'm done with this now. I now go to this. Okay, since I'm done with this, I now go to that. Okay, so now I'm going to say 13 minus the same number, that which is the square root of 57. So 13 minus 7.549834435. So these are the numbers that I'm going to talk about. Okay, divided equals, then divided by a 4. So I'm going to come up with 1.3. This is 1.3625. Okay, from there it's okay. Then I'll round them off to 2 decimal places. Okay, I'll round them off to 2 decimal places. So if you try and round off this one to 2 decimal places, you're going to have 5.1. This 7 is a rich number. It can give 5.14 as my first answer, or 1.36. So these were my solutions to the first question, which is saying 2x squared minus 13x plus 14 is equal to 0. The final solutions are these. Okay, the final solutions are these. Okay, we now move on to the second part. Okay, we now move on to the second part, which is saying 3x plus 5 over x is equal to 12. Okay, so let me just try and erase this stuff. So these are quadratic equations. They come each and every year. Okay, so we are now dealing with the paper 2, from the paper 2 aspects of quadratic equation. The next time we'll be looking at the quadratic equations from paper 1, how you can come up with the product, the sum, and also the factors, such kind of stuff. Okay, so the question is saying 3x. Have you seen that this one is a little bit complicated? Okay, so the question is saying 3x plus 5 over x is equal to 12. Okay, so it's very much easier the way you can solve it as well. So the first thing that you need to do, you need to make sure that you put it in this format, which is ax squared plus bx. Okay, you need to make sure that this must look like this. Okay, that thing, it must look like this format, which is it. Okay, so now how do we make this now to be like this? Okay, since we are having the denominator here x, okay, you're having the denominator here x, so we're now going to multiply both sides by x. Okay, so now if you try and multiply both sides by x, you're going to come up with something like this: 3x 5 over x is equal to 12. Okay, I'm going to multiply both sides by x. Okay, such that if you multiply this one, this 3x times x, you're going to come up with the 3x squared. Okay, this x is going to multiply everything from this side. Okay, then this one, it's a positive. Okay, but when it comes inside, it's going to be a negative. Okay, it's going to be a negative. So minus 12x times this x plus 5 is equal to what? What are you going to remain with? You're going to remain with a 0 here. Okay, so now this thing is now equivalent to this. So it's very much easier now for me like to play with it mathematically. Okay, so now this is the stuff that I've now rearranged this into this. Okay, so the same formula again will be applicable here, which is x b squared minus 4ac. So you don't have to recognize that formula. You're always given in an exam, so no need for you to know it by heart, unless you just want to. Okay, So let me try and group my data. So my data is going to be, which one is my A? My A is this one, which is 3. My B, it's negative 12. Negative 12. My C, which is constant, 5. Okay. Now we replace. Okay. We replace now. So x is equal to negative b. We're also having a negative. Negative times negative is going to give us a positive. So I'm going to say 12 plus or minus. Okay. B squared negative 12 squared minus 4. A, which one is my A? Which is 3. C, it's 5. Okay. So my C is 5 over 2a. Which one is my A? Which is like 3, right? 3. Okay. So x is equal to 12. As simple as that. So quadratic equation is very much. These are free marks in an exam. Okay, you can't afford like to miss them. These are just free marks in an exam. Okay. So negative 12 squared, you're going to come up, what's 12 times 12? You're going to come up something like 144. If I still remember 12 times 12. Yeah, 144. Okay. 144. I guess I have explained the meaning which is here in the first question. Minus 4 times 3. 4 times 3, you're going to come up with something like a 12 as well. Yeah, 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 5 times 5, you're going to come up with a 60. Okay. 12 times 5, you're going to come up with a 60 over 2 times 3, you're going to come up with a 6. Okay. So now here you continue saying, here you just be dropping. Okay, you just be dropping. This is the simplest question. Okay, because it will also be guiding you on what to do. Okay. So 12 plus or minus 144. What is 144 minus 60? You're going to come up with 84. Okay, 84. So here 144 minus 60, I'm going to come up with 84 over 6. Okay, 84 over 6. So let me just try and remove this part here. Okay, so these are quadratic equations. 5 mark in an exam. Free 5 mark in an exam. Okay. So here I'm going to come up with the square root of 84. So I'm going to say, just draw a line here again. So here I'm going to say 12 plus, what's the square root of 84? The square root of 84. The square root of 84, it's giving me 9.165, 9.165, 15,139, 15,139 over what? Over 6. Or 12 minus 9.165, 15,139 over 6. Okay, then I compute this and I also compute this. Okay, so I will say 12 plus 9 point, so 12 plus 9.165, 15,139 divided by 6. Oh, sorry, I put the 4 there. So I'll start again. 12 plus 9.165, 15,139. It's giving me 21.165, 15,139. Then I'll divide that number by a 6. So it's giving me a 3. X is equal to 3.525. Okay, what about this one, which is which one is going to give me excuse. So as you'll be solving this kind of question, you need to be making sure that you are moving with time, because paper 2, many people complain about time from there. So you need to be practicing this question When I was in grade 12, I was solving this question under 2 minutes. Okay, under 2 minutes I was able to solve this question. Okay, so you need to be practicing it each and every day. So mathematics needs to be practiced each and every day. Okay, so it's like a girlfriend or a boyfriend who is very much jealous about his or her partner. Okay, like every time they just need attention, such kind of stuff. Okay, so now remaining with that, 12 minus 9.165 15 139 divided by 6. So this one is giving me 0 0. So this one is giving me x is equal to 0.47247. So I'll round them off to 2 decimal places. Okay, I'll try and round them off to 2 decimal places. So now if I try and round off this thing to 2 decimal places, I'm going to come up with x is equal to 0.47. This one is my answer. If I try and round off this one, I'm going to come up with x is equal to 3.53. So this was the solution and this. So quadratic equation, you need to come up with 2 possible solutions. It's a must. Okay, so having this one and also this one, it's a must that you come up with 2 possible solutions from there. Provided that you don't come up with 2 possible solutions, you're going to lose marks from there. Okay, it's clear? All right. So these were the solutions. Okay, these was. Let's try and talk about the last one in today's under today's presentation. Okay, I've started being exhausted now. I'm feeling tired. Let's try and talk about the last one. Okay, so the last one is saying 2x squared is equal to 6x plus 3. Okay, so this question we have to put it in the format of the quadratic equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, we have to make sure that it should be equivalent to 0. Okay, so we can try and bring this into the other side. Okay, so so we are saying 2x squared is equal to 6x plus 3. Okay, so I'm going to say 2x squared. This is positive. When it crosses the equal sign, comes to the other side, it's going to be a negative. Those are the laws of mathematics. Okay, if it's a negative, then it crosses the equal sign, it's going to be a positive. But if it was the opposite, that is going to be the opposite. Okay, so this one's a positive, so it's going to be a negative. So if it was a negative, it could have been a positive. Okay, so minus 6x minus c. This is a positive. It comes this side, it's going to be a negative. Minus 3 is equal to 0. So 0 has got nothing like this is negative 0. There's nothing like negative 0, such kind of stuff. Okay, so this is now the format. This is now equivalent to this format now. So at this level, it's very much easier now to apply the formula method. Okay, it's very much easier now for me to apply the formula method, which is the same stuff that we were using there, and also the same stuff which is going to be applicable. Okay. So let's try and group the data. Okay, so data. Which one is my A? My A is 2. My B, negative 6. My C is negative 3. Okay, so now this is my data which I'm having from there. Okay, then I will say x is equal to negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, then I'll start plugging in now. Okay, so x is equal to negative. Okay, my b is negative here, my b is also negative b. So negative times negative, it's a positive. So the number there is 6. So 6 plus or minus. B, there's a positive here, a negative. So I'm going to say negative 6 squared minus 4. Which one is my A? Which is a 2. My C is -3. Okay, over 2A. My A is a 2. Okay, there you just it will just be dropping. It will just be dropping just like that. Okay, so 6C here, 6 times 6C, which is 36. 36. Negative times negative. Negative times integers now go that way. Okay, negative times negative, it's a positive. So 4 times 2, it's 8. 8 times 3, 8 times 3, I'm going to come up something like 8 times 3. I'm going to come up with a 24. Okay, 24 over 2 times 2, I'm going to come up with a 4. So x is equal to 60 plus or minus, what's 36 plus 24? I'm going to come up with a 60. Okay, come up with a 60 over 4. So at this level now you come up with the square root of 60. Okay, you come up with the square root of 60. So the square root of 60 is going to give me something like the square root of 60 is going to give me something like the square root of 60. So I'll say 6 plus 6 minus. So the square root of 60, I'm going to come up with the square root of 6. I'm going to come 7.745966692. So that's the square root of 60. I'm going to come up with 7.7459. How many 6 are there? 1, 2, 3. 6, 6, 6, 9, 2. Same applies here. I'm going to come up with 7.745966692. I'm going to divide this by 4, even this by 4. Okay, then I will say x is equal to what's 6 plus 6c plus 7.745966692 divided by 4. I'm going to come up with a 3.43649. 2 decimal places, I'm going to say x is equal to 3.444. 6c minus 7.745966692 divided by 4. I'm going to come up with negative 0.43649. 649.16. In 2 decimal places, I'm going to say x is equal to negative 0.44. So these were the solutions. So the solutions to 2x squared is equal to 6x plus 3. The solutions are x, the first one is 3.44, and also the second one is x is equal to negative 0.44. So these were the solutions to some of the questions that we are solving, which is one of them is 2022, another one is 2020. This is a combination of the internal and also the external. Okay, so these were the solutions. So thank you so very much for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can be getting a notification whenever I try and upload a new video. Thank you so very much for your time. Goodbye.